Tonight, somewhere in Europe, someone opens a window and waits for relief. Nothing changes. The room is hot. The walls are hot. Even the air outside feels tired. A fan spins in the corner, but it is not really cooling the room. It is only pushing warm air from one side of your skin to the other. You drink water. You turn the pillow over. You tell yourself the night will cool down soon. But it does not. And that is the part people often miss. A heat wave does not become dangerous only because the afternoon temperature is high. It becomes dangerous when the heat refuses to leave, when the street stays warm after sunset, when the building keeps breathing yesterday's heat back into the room, when your body waits for night to reset itself and the reset never comes. So if people in Dubai, Riyadh, Lahore, Karachi, Delhi, or Doha can live with 40 or even 50 degrees, why does 38 or 40 degrees in Europe feel like an emergency? The answer is not that Europeans are weak. The answer is that temperature is only one part of heat. Heat is also buildings. Heat is humidity. Heat is air conditioning. Heat is culture. Heat is what happens at night. And heat is whether your city was designed to fight cold or designed to survive summer. Start with the weather itself. This heat wave is not just a hot day. It is a trapped pattern. A large, high-pressure system sits over a region like a lid on a pot. Cooler air cannot easily move in. Rain does not come. Wind weakens. The sun keeps hitting the same roads, rooftops, and walls again and again. During the day, the city absorbs heat. At night, it releases it back. That is why the heat feels like it is not going anywhere. Because in many places, it really is not. The atmosphere is stuck, and the city underneath it becomes a storage battery for heat. Now add climate change. A weather pattern like this could happen before, but now it begins from a warmer world. Think of it like raising the floor under a flood. The same weather system arrives, but it starts higher, climbs faster, and breaks records more easily. That is why people keep saying, "We had summers before. Why is this one different?" Because the baseline changed. A normal hot spell becomes dangerous when the background temperature is already higher. A hot afternoon becomes deadly when the night stays hot too. And a continent that once needed heating more than cooling suddenly faces summers its buildings were not built for. This is where the Europe comparison matters. In much of South Asia and the Middle East, heat is not new. It is part of the daily operating system. People plan around it. Work shifts move. Shops slow down at peak hours. Streets come alive later. Homes use fans, coolers, AC, shaded courtyards, curtains, tiles, and cross-ventilation. People still drink tea in the heat. People still drink coffee in the heat. Not because the heat is harmless, because the culture has learned how to live around it. The body adapts a little. The routine adapts a lot. You avoid the worst hours. You cover windows before the sun enters. You drink more without thinking. You know which room stays cooler. Loose fabric, lighter colors, covered heads, and breathable material all help the body manage heat. Europe has a different history. For centuries, the main enemy was cold, so the homes were built to keep warmth inside. Thick brick, heavy stone, insulation, small windows in older buildings, dark roofs, attic rooms, apartments that hold heat all evening. These are useful in winter. They can be brutal in a heat wave. A house built to trap warmth does not suddenly become comfortable because summer changed. It becomes an oven. And unlike many hotter regions, many European homes still do not have air conditioning. People rely on fans, open windows, wet towels, cold showers, and hope. But if the air outside is also hot, the window does not save you. If the walls are still radiating heat, the fan does not remove heat. It only moves it. This is why indoor heat can feel worse than outdoor heat. Outside, at least air may move. Inside, heat gets trapped. Now add humidity. A dry 42 degrees can feel horrible, but your sweat can still evaporate. Evaporation is the main way your body cools itself. Sweat leaves the skin, takes heat with it, and your body temperature drops. But humid air is already full of moisture, so sweat sits on your skin. It drips, it makes you feel wet, but it does not cool you as well. That is why a humid 35 can feel more suffocating than a dry 42. The number on the thermometer is lower, but the body is losing one of its best escape routes. This is also why nights matter so much. A hot day stresses the body. A hot night removes the recovery. Your heart keeps working harder. Your blood vessels stay widened. Your sweat keeps trying. Your sleep gets lighter. Your core temperature does not fall the way it should. The next day begins before your body has recovered from the last one. For a young, healthy person, this feels exhausting. For an elderly person, a baby, a patient, an outdoor worker, or someone on the top floor of a hot apartment block, it can become dangerous very quickly. That is why heat is called a silent killer. It does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a quiet bedroom, a fan, a glass of water, and a body slowly losing its ability to stay cool. And this is where the other countries handle 50 degrees argument becomes too simple. Many hot countries do not handle heat easily. They suffer too. South Asia and the Middle East also have deadly heat waves. Outdoor workers collapse. Power cuts become dangerous. Poor families suffer most. Heat is not safe just because a place is used to it. But there is a difference between living in a hot climate and suddenly being hit by one. A city like Dubai is built around cooling. A city like Lahore has routines around heat. A city like Riyadh expects extreme summer. People may complain, but they know the rules of the season. Many European cities are still learning those rules in real time. That is why this heat wave feels so severe. It is not just the temperature, it is the trapped air. It is the warm nights. It is the humidity. It is the concrete and asphalt. It is the low air conditioning. It is the winter-designed buildings. It is the fact that homes, hospitals, trains, schools, and work routines were not built for repeated days like this. A heat wave is not only weather, it is a test of the whole system. Can the home cool down? Can the hospital handle extra patients? Can the power grid handle demand? Can workers avoid the hottest hours? Can old apartments release heat at night? Can people sleep enough to recover? When the answer is no, even a lower temperature can become more dangerous than a higher number somewhere else. So the next time someone says, "It is only 40 degrees," other countries live with this. Remember what they are missing. 40 degrees in a city built for heat is one thing. 40 degrees in a city built for winter is another. 40 degrees in dry air is one thing. 40 degrees with humid nights is another. 40 degrees for one afternoon is one thing. 40 degrees trapped for days with buildings storing heat and nights refusing to cool is something else completely. Tonight, someone in Europe will open a window again. They will wait for the air to change. They will wait for the room to breathe. They will wait for the night to do what night is supposed to do. But if the heat stays inside, if the walls keep radiating, if the city never cools, then the real danger is not just the heat outside, it is the heat that has nowhere left to go.